Do you need somewhere to host a party or just need delicious food for a special event? Well, Stephie's Caterers has you covered. Right now, we are with the owner, the one and only, Gino Dejesse.
How are you?
Hi.
Hi, Flea.
I think this is going to be an incredible episode. I have known you for a very, very, very long time.
Way long.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a really long time. Yeah, for your life.
Pretty much
Maybe
probably
longer
all
than-
my
yeah,
life.
Your whole life. Yeah, God.
My whole life.
Yeah.
We're going to start with just, talking about your catering businesses, all the businesses that you have done all these years. There's a lot. We're going to start from the very beginning. How did you get into doing catering?
Well, it wasn't always catering. We started out early. I was a carpenter, wasn't happy about it, but moved into 7-Eleven. My buddy owned a 7-Eleven, and he said, why don't you buy a franchise? Me being that kind of guy, okay. Mm-hmm. I was young. It was in Turnersville. It was challenging.
How old were you at that point?
Early 20s, 20, 21, 22.
Who buys a franchise?
Yeah, well, listen,
that age?
I just, went with it. I gave it a shot. Was way too young. The employees took me in and robbed me blind when I wasn't there at night. But I really didn't care because I was driving a Corvette. I thought I was sharp, not smart. But that was actually the beginning of the food business. So started there, and then we moved, down the line. My dream when I was a kid was to own a bar. And 12th and Annan was the Annan Cafe, and it came available. And that was the bar I hung at as a kid. The guys just throw dimes on the floor and nickels. And when I was sweeping up on Saturdays and Sundays, and my father and his crew there. And the bar came available, and I bought it. It was my dream come true.
That was called Gino's Cafe.
Gino's Cafe, the infamous
Yes.
Gino's Cafe.
My dad was telling me about it. He's like, I don't know if it was a nightclub, a bar, a food place. It was everything.
Yeah, well, we did a little bit of everything. I mean, we weren't supposed to be there at 2 o'clock. It just seemed to be the time it really got crowded. So we weren't closing.
Like an after hours
It was
joint.
after hours, yeah. You were. If you left Gino's Cafe before 2 o'clock, you really made a mistake.
Yeah.
Yeah, it got busy after that. So, it was great because, we did the food thing there. It started out little French fries, and then we moved into sandwiches. But the bar itself was crazy. Like, I go back, it's probably my greatest accomplishment in life was the bar, other than my kids, obviously, and my wife.
Well, this was
married.
before your kids.
This was before the kids.
So this was your first.
Yes, my first greatest
My
thing.
first greatest thing.
Yes,
so we're not going to make anyone unhappy.
No, don't get mad at me. But all my friends met their wives there, and like it was the place to be. It was great. It was great.
I always say to my dad, like, I wish that I was born in like that time frame, because I really think that you guys were very tight knit, and you guys just had so much fun no matter what you did.
And we did it all together.
Yes.
We always did everything together. You walked in my bar, I mean, Cheers showed you how family.
Yes.
That was my bar. My bar, everybody that walked in my bar knew everybody.
That was the Phillies Cheers.
It was the Phillies Cheers. And absolutely. And you know what? I think back on it, I made mistakes, but it wouldn't change any of that. That was so great.
Yeah.
It was so much fun.
I would love to have like a picture or video in here of that. But
Back in the day, and I could look, but the wall behind us, the bar was in our back room at the time, and the wall behind us had Boulevard of Broken Dreams airbrushed on it.
Wow.
And I was the bartender.
Uh-huh.
So I was with Marilyn Monroe and the whole crew. Like, you go back to times like that. I mean, it was Angel, who we wish her well. She's been sick, but Angel really, she put that to life. I mean, it was unreal. Like, you come in, you see me bartender with these guys. It was pretty cool. But that was a time of my life that I would never change.
So then we went on to Avenue Grill.
Avenue Grill, yep. Avenue Grill was Uncle Phil's. We took Avenue Grill from just that little regular coffee shop. We turned it into a great sandwich shop. It was around for 7 or 8 years. We did, like, we were the sandwich people before the sandwich people, before the Tony Luke's, before the Primos, we had the whole stock exchange tied up. Like, we would deliver sandwiches, by the dozen. I didn't know what I had at the time.
What kind of sandwiches did you do there?
Cheesesteaks, chicken cutlets, veggie. With veggie was chickies at the time, which he should have patented, which he didn't. But we did grilled chicken Italian, chicken cutlet Italian. Like, these were the things, breakfast sandwiches, pepper and egg, the icons, all the things that now everybody has. They didn't have it back then.
Yeah.
We started that, which was pretty cool. Then they opened up a Tony Jr.'s in Center City. They opened up Primo's in Center City. They started to take off. And obviously you go from being the only guy to now everybody's got a piece of it. We used to fax out our menus every day.
Wait, faxing?
Fax our menus out every day to all the local businesses of all our specials. Shout out to Sharon, who was my main cook, who was my main girl. Sharon came up with the specials every day between salads and we still make till today our Caesar dressing, which is
Oh God, yeah, yes, it is. And that was from
Sharon made that, and that came from Avenue Grill. Yep, that's
awesome.
How many years ago that is. That's crazy.
It's a delicious dressing.
Thank you.
I also love the balsamic one too.
Yeah.
We can get on and on about what I love here, but that's later on in the conversation. We're going to talk about also a coffee shop in the mix.
Well, we got Pashock Avenue started to get a little funny, so at the time I end up selling Avenue Grill, and we took a little corner spot called it Juliana's. And if you could see the pattern here, Avenue Grill was probably the only one not named of somebody in my family. Mm-hmm. So Gino's Cafe, obviously me, and then we named the coffee shop Juliana's. Mm-hmm. At the coffee shop, we had to put a kitchen in. We were still doing catering at the time. We were still doing things like starting to build our name. And then, little by little, I knew nothing about coffee. It kind of got expensive. You don't know what you're doing. It was pre-coffee. Nobody was into coffee at the time. We were doing La Colombe. Nobody knew it.
No, you're right. Like, when you think about it, like, what year was that you did that?
My daughter was just born, so had
like
to be 2001.
Yeah,
2001.
Yeah, because guess what? Like, when you walked on Pashock Avenue, like, because Cellini's and all, I don't remember. I feel like everyone made their coffee at home. It wasn't like a big thing with like, I'm going to go grab coffee at the store. Like, now it's a different story. Like, everyone's going to a coffee shop, or they're too lazy to make it at home, I think.
I get up every morning.
Yeah, like I think that's the thing, or they just want to take a picture with it.
Yeah.
But I think that you were like ahead of your time with that.
Yeah, I was ahead of my time with that, definitely.
But it was a great idea.
Phenomenal. I knew nothing about it, and people really weren't into it.
Yeah.
So, you live and learn. Mm-hmm. We had the catering hall above the flower shop on Pashock Avenue.
Yes, that's where I had my communion party.
And that's where we took in Steffi's
Caterers.
There's another name that jumps into the mix.
Mm-hmm.
So Steffi's Caterers was upstairs of I forget the name of the flower shop.
Josie's, yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Which is where Stogie Joe's is now. We were on the second floor. And that's really where catering took off. We became that, the little quaint catering hall that held families, and we didn't, go outside our means, kept it simple for people, and that's where we're at. Like,
it's so crazy because I remember that building. Like, it was my communion party. I was 8 years old, and I still remember you had like a little dance floor.
Yep.
And
the mirrors,
yes.
Yeah.
I probably have pictures that I could pull out and show. Like, we use you for every family occasion.
Yeah,
everything. Still till this day.
Still.
I mean, like, really big events to our New Year's parties that you cater, and we'll also get into that where you don't just do in-house stuff. But I think that we're like, I feel like we're like family, like you have been with a lot of important milestones in our life, and it's always great events, and you always put on a great party.
Well, I appreciate that you take me in that way,
of
but
course.
I absolutely love your family, everybody.
Oh, we love you guys.
Your brother's one of my besties over there. He's really, really a good guy.
Yeah, like, I just think that, like, what your places compared to a lot of places is you when you talk to you, you're not just like a businessman. You're trying to do well for everyone. You're not trying to hit someone over the head. Like, you want to make sure that everyone's taken care of, that this is my place, but we're bringing you in like this. We're like all family here.
Right.
Like, I feel like that with every event or party that you have.
A lot of what I do, based off what you're saying, is I don't charge people per head for outside jobs. I feel like selling pans of food to somebody gives them the opportunity to have the party that they want without knocking their socks off. I tell them what they need. I try and keep their numbers down to make everybody do well.
Yeah.
We got this thing going on right now, which your brother's helping me with. We're reaching out to all the clubs. We're trying to get all the clubs involved, all the Mummer clubs, the Mummers Museum, the Stars, the Satin Slipper. We're putting out packages so they can make money to stay afloat and make it easier to go up New Year's Day.
Yeah.
The packages I'm putting out aren't, I'm making a few dollars, but nothing like charging, $2,000,
Thousands of
$3,000 for food. My goal is to make everybody happy. If I go into a club and I can set up food and the club can make money, I did my job. And it feels good. We're busy on the weekends. We got 4 or 5 jobs. I always try and make everybody's pocket work.
Yes.
Some people come up and say, look, I got a budget of this.
And you make it work.
And I make it work.
Yes.
And that's the thing. And I get repeat business. You've never once seen an advertisement for me. I don't advertise anywhere.
No. I don't
advertise anywhere.
Guess what? I was trying to look at social media platforms. I don't think you have one.
I don't, because I want everybody.
I'm actually really shocked you to have Philip make you one. Or you were trying to make him one?
I might have to get him tonight.
I think you need to.
You know what's funny? It's not that I don't want to. I just don't want to put something out there that's not the way I am. And Prices put that out there. If you call me, we work it out. We make it work for you.
So we had Stephie's Caterers at Passyunk Avenue, and now we brought it to where the Vikings are.
Downstairs has been specifically me. I rent it from them. Upstairs is more of a Mummer club. But before I actually took this room, 2 doors down
was your kitchen.
I opened up a commissary.
I remember this.
Okay. The commissary came before this room. So I was next door, and the Vikings had owned the building at the time.
And you would always make food for the Vikings.
I would do whatever they needed. We would do all outside stuff. We cooked out of there. It was it, and one of their board members came to me and said, hey, what would you think about taking next door here? And I said, you know what? I'm in. Like, I would love to do that. So I kind of jumped back on the horse. I had a catering hall again. Because what happened on the avenue, they sold the building, at...
Passyunk.
Yeah, second floor. So they sold the building. And then to get back into it was really...
It was a great feeling.
It was a great feeling.
It was like you had a little flame.
Yeah, it got fired up again.
Yeah.
And since then, it really took off.
I'd say you have parties here constantly.
Yeah.
Like, the design of the place, that was really, really nice. You have so much room for everyone. How many people can you hold here? Like, just in the
Between
bottom?
80 and 100,
Okay.
comfortable.
Yeah.
I'd like to bring around 80, because then I don't feel like you're cramped.
Yeah.
And we give people the option to do their thing. They bring in what they want. We do the food. We allow them to do a lot of what they do. So
absolutely. I mean, I kind of take over the place when I come here with my parties. I mean, I'm sure a lot of other people do as well.
Some people get more leeway than others.
Yeah.
I gotta say.
But I just, the uplighting, like the lighting that you have in here, just like even the crown molding that you have, it's just really like an elegant feel, I think. And it's comfortable.
Yeah, that's
I
the word
love the word, like, comfortable.
Yeah, I love it. That explains it exactly the way it is. Really nice.
Because it is. Because, like, when you come in here, you're comfortable. Like, I'm going to enjoy myself. I'm going to have some food. I'm just going to relax and have a nice time at the party. I'm comfortable.
And that's what the idea is. The idea is to get people to come in and want to come back.
Yeah.
They're with their families. They can enjoy. They're tight. They're not spread out. It's kind of like, we talk to each other. You can go to a table and sit with somebody you ain't seen in years, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. And so down here has, like you said, a different vibe. Upstairs is more like some tables, but like, did someone like just contact you and say, I want the room on the second floor,
Well,
I want the room downstairs?
They handle their own rentals upstairs.
Okay, but you do the food.
Yeah, I do the food. They can bring their own upstairs.
Okay.
Here you can't.
Okay.
This is me exclusive. Upstairs, you could bring your own. They like to do packages that kind of include the food,
Okay.
which makes it easier for people.
Yes.
They make sure it gets cleaned up. They make sure they got servers. That's something that I push for.
Yes.
When you book it, you don't want it to headaches. You want to go somewhere and worry about nothing.
I agree.
And that's the thing that most of the clubs, like Philip helped me with, that's what we want to do. We want to set that across a lot of the clubs on 2nd Street so people can go and just say, look, I want this. Show up with dessert and move forward. For us, we want to try and make the mum holes survive.
Yeah, and I think that's important because, things are expensive. It's not like, we pay to be in the parade, which many people, I guess, don't see that. Like, we pay to put on this show. No one's giving us money to put on the show. So your, even little thing that you're doing for us is actually a big thing because that could buy us the confetti that we need. That can buy us the glue sticks and the feathers,
whatever,
which are
yeah.
extremely expensive.
Yeah.
I think that that's incredible because every little bit helps.
Oh, without a doubt.
It really
Without a
does.
doubt. And that's what I try to make them see. When you do a function, you have to make a few dollars. You're not looking to knock nobody out of the head, but make a few dollars.
Like I said, we've used you for multiple events. There is not a party that I go to or a serenade that your food is not served at. It's a lot of very popular dishes.
Yeah.
Tell us about the ones that majority of the time people order. Like
Chicken Juliana has to be on the top 2. Chicken Juliana and bow tie prosciutto and pea Alfredo are people's knocked out.
that's always on our menu. But tell people who don't know,
rosé.
what is chicken Juliana?
Chicken Juliana is a honey balsamic sauce with roasted peppers, and it sounds crazy.
But it's delicious.
It really has a nice bite to it. We actually take the chicken and we cook it whole, and then we peel it, hand pull it.
Oh my God.
It's hand pulled, so it's time consuming. But most people do medallions. I feel that medallions, when you serve somebody a tray of chicken, you get 30 pieces in a pan. I can't charge $100 for that. Whereas if you pull it, you're getting way more chicken. You're getting way more for your money, and it goes way further. And the taste is...
It's amazing. It really is.
And the bow tie, I smile when I say it.
Yeah. It's,
Christmas Eve, there's a line out the door for bow ties.
1,000%. And
Yeah.
like you do things for the different holidays as well.
Oh, yeah.
You do, you have a sheet. This is for this much. Like you do Christmas, Easter.
But for the most part, our menu don't change.
No.
So on that, we may simplify the menu to make it easier for us because of our volume.
Yes.
But that menu is basically etched in stone. Because if we go beyond that, I can't give it a quality.
Yes.
So when you try and you spread yourself too thin, it's a problem.
Yeah.
It's a problem.
And every time you eat the food, it tastes the same. It tastes great. Like,
consistency means everything.
It's the key. And that's why people keep coming back.
Yeah.
Not only because of, the family presence that you have here, because, your family,
They're all here.
they're all here.
They're all here.
You know everyone by name. Hey, I feel like that's your thing. Everything that you do,
It goes back to that cheers
Yes,
thing.
I really think that everything that you do is like the cheers, right? But I mean, the food's consistent. The place is great. Like, you have a great place here.
Thank you.
And-
We getting back to one thing before I didn't mean to cut you, but the clubs, the upstairs, the Vikings, the Saturnalia, the Jokers, the Pirates, they all order food from me all year long.
Yes, they do.
And these are functions to help them 50-50s. I mean, beef and beers, and to keep the money flowing for them. We did the breakfast for the Shooting Stars this year.
I had no idea you
Before
did
the parade,
breakfast.
we do breakfast.
I had no clue.
We do breakfast, and they said, when they finished second this year, so I think we're doing breakfast again next year.
Okay,
I mean, they're pushing.
Yeah.
So it was pretty cool. And I've been
That's
a part
probably
of,
a really busy week for you.
it's a zoo. It's a
Yeah.
zoo. My daughter is a Viking. Hi, Jules. And my son's a shooting star.
Yes.
My life gets tough.
Oh, listen, people don't realize how
my
tough
life
that
gets
is.
tough.
Yes.
It's brutal. But both clubs, they're both good clubs. They're both good people. And get back to the expense. I see what my kids pay. It's no joke.
No.
So, anywhere they can get help, anybody can help. It's really appreciated.
Well, you also do stuff for the Mummers Museum.
Oh, yeah.
You also do, I know for the Fancy Brigade Association, you cook for us that week.
Yep. I do the whole week at the convention
Yes, you
center.
do.
I deliver food all week for
All
the,
week.
what are they? I guess they would be the judging and...
It's mostly like the board members and like
Yeah.
the dignitaries
Tommy
that
Knight
are
and
there.
that
Yes.
group. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I sneak myself up there sometimes too, but
got a little pull.
Yeah.
Got a little pull.
instead of buying some food, I just get Winnie Gino's food. But not even speaking about like that type of stuff. You also do charity events too.
All kinds. Anybody that calls, 1,000,000%.
Yeah.
In. We did a nice autism thing last year at the Mummers Museum. My daughter's friend, Mia, came up with something. I don't remember
you
the
did it.
disease. We help out. We always donate anything to the OM that needs help. We help out. Anybody across the board that calls up and says, "Hey, listen, I need a hand." We're always going to help.
Yes.
There's never a no.
Well, you have a great heart. I think that like that goes a long way, and people remember that too. And I know that you don't do it for that, but like, but just say like you do something, like people are like, that was really nice, and it's really a great thing that you do that.
People say all the time that I wish I hit the lottery, and I say all the time, I feel like I hit the lottery. And they said, what do you having? I said, well, one, my kids are healthy. My wife's healthy. I mean, my wife had some illness, but she's healthy now. Things are, you can't buy that. Like, I feel blessed every day. The business through COVID was a nightmare. I thought we were done. We started all over again. And it came back double. It's really come back double. And I feel every day blessed. So if I can help somebody or a group or anybody, I'm in. Long as I can. Long as I can do it, I'll do it.
I love it. And like speaking of COVID, you did have juniors, which I'm assuming is for your son Gino.
That's for Gino.
Okay.
There you go. You
Yes,
got it across
I
the
got it.
board
I
now.
figured it out.
Across the board. Although my wife will say her father's nickname was Junior.
Okay, we could say it's for both.
But we'll call it both. but
Yeah.
it was more Gino's place. He had this vision that he wanted to do something in North Wildwood. And we took a shot. And it was well. We did well. The first 2 years were tough. We're in a rough location, but then we moved into Exit 6.
Yes.
When we moved into Exit 6, the first summer was, holy God, this is phenomenal.
Well, I mean, just think you guys were open when the bars also were closed, and there was not many places that were.
But here's the thing. We had to close at 2:45 a.m.
Yeah.
The bars closed at 3 because of the Wildwood ordinance.
Yes.
If we were able to stay open, I might still be there.
Yeah.
But we got all the drunks. No disrespect.
Yeah, they're
Thank
the
you.
drunks.
They were coming
Thank
to eat.
you.
They were all our people. And it goes back to the mums.
No, it was all of us.
mums.
I mean, my
Yes,
husband
all our
would
people.
go
Yes.
and get food there all the time.
We did well. And then the first year was phenomenal. Second year was an absolute nightmare because COVID.
COVID, yeah.
When COVID hit, we were out of business. Obviously, everybody closed. But then we tried to open up again. And Wildwood closed the 2 streets
Yes.
adjoining. So they put the flower pots across, and you couldn't get delivery people. You couldn't do anything.
It was really rough. I remember that
took
time.
a beating. We took a beating. We tried so hard to keep it going. We even opened up a place here on Passion Avenue,
Yeah.
Junior's Beef and Pork. We thought we can get through it, and it just didn't work. We couldn't get back. Beef prices went up. Bread went up. Everything went up. It put you in a position where it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
So
That's really hard, like, especially, like, I mean, you started the business right before COVID. Like, this was already established,
Yes.
right? But when you start a new business during that time, it's probably, like,
Nightmare.
there was nothing to bring you back in. That's really, like, difficult. Because it
was.
really was really great, though. It was.
fun.
Yeah.
It was fun seeing a lot of people.
Yeah, but people that
Really,
that you know too, and you're like, ah, and then like the next time you're like, I saw you the
saw
other
you last
night.
Yeah.
Now I really thought that it was neat that you had a place there, and I remember walking right down. I think it's called
Old New
Central,
Jersey.
Old New Jersey.
Old New Jersey.
And like we would get Exit 6 would have like the drinks outside. We would get a drink, and then we would go next door to your place because at that point everything was outside.
Yep.
At that like period of time.
It was, we
Yeah.
literally got pushed to the curb. You know,
Seriously pushed to the curb.
Yep.
Wow.
That was a nightmare.
It was. But we came through. I mean, that didn't work out, but that's okay. Things work out, things
fine.
don't, but it's a learning experience. It's something that happened. It was history in your life. Like, just think, like, you had so many different businesses, but I love that you named them after family members.
That was it. That's funny. We went through the names. It was always somebody in the family. And then, here, it is what it is. We're
Yeah.
not changing. We're not moving. We're not trying to make anything
No.
better. I always wanted to make things better and better and better. And this is it. I feel like we, not that you can't be better. I just feel like this is what people want. This is where they come to enjoy a function, a very special occasion in their life. Their grandmother turned 90. You go from first birthdays, communities. I had people that had their first birthday here, or their christening, first birthday, and they just had their 21st between Passyunk Avenue and here.
Come
I mean,
on.
it's 20,
Look
over
at me.
20 years.
I had my communion here, my engagement party. I don't know. We just had everything here. Yeah.
And your
My
brother Phil just had his wife's party here, and
we
the
had
kids'
the
birthdays here.
the
Yes.
baptism. I
Yes.
mean,
And
that's what it's all about. You're literally seeing people. I'm telling you, you're seeing so many milestones.
Yep. And people say that to me all the time, and they're like, "You don't remember me? You christened me." I'm like, "What?
You christened me.
Maybe I christened you." Well, I was at your place for a christening.
You were the priest.
I was father. That's not how it goes. Yeah,
You were the priest.
wet your head.
I wet your head. I love it. But how can people contact you since you really don't have the social media?
Well, we don't have a social media. Although I do have a social media guy standing over there.
Yeah.
Pretty much my cell phone is the way to get me. I know we have Stephie's Caterers. I couldn't even tell you where it's at. But my cell phone's 215-669-6342. Simple number. My wife is 6363. She wouldn't give me that one at the time. It was when we had the Nextel phone. She wanted the different number. But, it is what it is.
Yeah, and like you work with like different vendors that come in here.
Yes.
So can you touch on some of the vendors that you've worked with that like you recommend for people to bring in for their party?
We deal with DJs out the wazoo. Quigs, good guy. My nephew Mark, Louis Castelli. For DJs, Steve Nalfi. To name a few. Punzo, Frankie Punzo.
My brother Frankie.
Phil Punzo. I mean, they're DJs that come in here on a regular basis. Adorned by Ange does the balloons. Donna Severoli does cupcakes and cakes. And we have Sweet Eats happens to be my favorite.
Oh, Sweet Eats in Jersey.
Voorhees for it.
No, guess what? Their cakes are amazing.
I know. I'm just partial to
I know.
kind of cake because that's how I got Pleasantly Plump. But we deal with all kinds of people, flower people, and I'm fortunate to have people. There are people that we all work together. So
That's
cool.
That's really cool, and Ann, she does a great
Ange is the
job.
best.
She makes a place just come to life.
Yeah.
She's someone that I'm definitely going to interview. Yes,
Should have got her here tonight. She's got a key. She might walk in.
She's busy.
Yeah, she might walk in.
But it's really nice. Like I met you before that, but like I feel like with your family and all that, like I really got to know all of you guys from the Vikings. And like Ange is in the Vikings. It's so crazy. Everyone's connected somehow.
Yeah. My
I love
son
it.
was in the Vikings from when he was 4. I was in the Vikings for about 8 years. Then I got to be their caterer. So they kind of make me do food while they're having fun.
Yeah.
I'll take it. My daughter's still a Viking. She's got, I think, 5 or 6 championships. My son's got 4. He left. He went to the Stars. Still got 3 or 4. He was mini me, by the way.
Was he?
Oh, he was mini me back when the Vikings did mini me.
No way.
Yeah, he was getting chased around. But yeah, the Vikings are a big part of my family. I'm close with all of them. I consider them family. I grew up. My kids grew up. You had nothing else. This is what we grew up with. This is our tradition. We made it our life.
Yeah.
My daughter loves it. My son loves it. They go in two different directions. Every day they come home and they break them for each other.
1,000.
But it comes back to one thing, mumming. They love to mum.
Yeah.
And that's the greatest thing in the world.
Well, you're the Dejesse clan. I mean,
Yes.
you guys are all in it.
Yeah.
And your family
Mark, Jordan,
is amazing.
Torrey. I think we got 9 Dejesses in the Vikings.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark, Jordan, Torrey. They've been in it forever.
I remember Bobby
Big
was
Mark.
in it before.
Bobby was in it. Yep.
Who else was in it?
Little Dean was in it.
Dean,
Victoria
yeah.
was in it. I mean, you go.
They were in it when I
through
was in it. In 2009, I feel like we were all in it
Yeah.
somehow.
Big family.
Yeah.
Big family. It brings the family together.
It's funny because before I figured out that who was brothers, I always thought that you
And Mark.
and Dean were brothers, and then really it was Bobby was
Yep.
brothers, and you
Bobby
were.
and Dean.
How was that family?
All right, so my father was Joe.
Okay.
My wife will laugh. Jesse Dejesse.
Wait,
'Cause
what?
He used to have a velour sweat outfit. He was Jesse. His name then would be Jesse Dejesse.
I love that.
So my wife flat out,
Yes.
your father's Jesse Dejesse. So she would break them for me all the time. But my father, Joe, and Mark's father, Bobby, were brothers. So the kids, we grew up in each other's houses. I mean, always together. Me and my brother, I have a brother, Joey, and my sister, Paula.
I never knew. that
And my
you-
brother, I have
okay.
a brother, Joey, and his daughter was in the parade for the first time this year.
Oh, nice.
One and done.
One and
Champion
done.
and left.
And left.
Me, my goddaughter. So Joey nothing ever around the parade. That's not something he did. But I had a Down syndrome sister. My sister Paula was Down syndrome.
I had no clue.
Okay. Yeah, my sister Paula was Down syndrome. My heart, my life. She would just have fun no matter what. She was never around the mom. We bring her around, but it was her thing. She stayed with my mother and, kind of. But getting back to Bobby and my father, they were 7 siblings, but Mark, Bobby, it was Raisins, Doodles, Lisa, and Dean. And that was me, my brother, and my sister. So me and Mark became inseparable. We're still inseparable. We're together all the time. So everybody thinks we're brothers.
But you guys go on vacations together. You do everything together.
Yep, my wife, Stephanie, and Tony
yeah.
are inseparable. They're
Exactly,
besties.
yeah.
So the family end of it's pretty cool.
It's pretty much like you had, it was 7 of you guys.
Yeah. And we still till today. We go on vacations together. We do things together. It's always all of us. My wife watches Tori's baby.
Yeah.
A couple days a week. I mean, I'm going to Disney. I ain't been to Disney since my daughter was 2. We're going to go see Tori's daughter. We're going to see Reagan Rose in Disney.
Yeah.
My wife got me to go to Disney to see Reagan Rose. I would never do that.
And guess
I
what?
love it.
Yes.
She makes everybody laugh. She's a great kid.
I remember seeing the video when she came home from the hospital, and I just loved your reaction to that. I did. I'm not Tori, Jordan, Mark. They're just great people. They really are.
They're my second kids.
They really are.
Yep.
Your relationship with them reminds me of my Uncle Dom's relationship with us. You support them in everything. You wholeheartedly feel like they're your children.
1,000,000%.
And I really love that.
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
I love my nieces and nephews.
I'm like that with my brother's kids. I mean, I'm way too obsessed.
But that's a good thing.
It's a good thing.
Supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be.
And I feel like, you know how people say we don't move out of the city, right? The furthest we go is New Jersey, right? I can never imagine, I hear stories oh, this family member lives in Texas. This one lives in Maine. This one lives here. I'm like, how?
No.
I
There's
feel like
no
I
shot.
can't even go over the bridge without wanting to cry my eyes out because I can't be up my brother's butt.
There's no shot I could be away from my kids.
Yeah.
I bought a bigger house. I mean, we lived right across the street here
Yes, right across the street.
for 17 years. My wife's born and raised up Moore Street. We bought a house 17 years ago, 18 years ago, whatever. Oh, actually, wait a minute. What am I saying? Juliana, we took her home So Juliana was only 22.
So
we lived there for 18 years because we've been in the new house. We moved down Sienna Place,
Yes.
which has its good and bad. I love Sienna Place.
Yeah.
The convenience of being able to throw roast beef in the oven and go home and lay on the couch was pretty cool. Or having to meet somebody for a job, you walk across the street.
Yes.
Now, not that it's far. I mean, it's 8 minutes, 7 minutes. It's the break I think I needed because now I could relax a little bit.
And not be across the street from your
'Cause
business.
Somebody called me up and they're like, "Oh, can you let me? I'm home now." Across the street, I walk over.
Yes.
You know, so it has its pros and cons, but I got to be honest with you, Sienna Place is really, it's nice.
Oh,
I
you don't
love
have
it.
to tell me.
I love it.
When I lived in the reserves, I think it was the best decision my parents ever did for us because we lived on 7th and Latona. And then we moved there. And just growing up there was like really, really nice.
You're away.
Yeah,
from Philly, but
you're not.
So it's like the greatest thing.
Yeah, it's like you get the best of both worlds.
We just walked up the street, my wife and I, 10 minutes, no, an hour ago.
Yeah.
And it's one of the kids' birthdays, her godson, her goddaughter's son. And we walked up and we're like, you used to live here.
Yeah.
Like, it's cool, but it's not the same. Whereas,
Well, just think a
everything
lot
changed.
of everything changes. I've noticed that like there's a lot of change.
Yeah.
But the good thing is your family doesn't change,
No,
right?
no.
And like you moved where you moved, like I'm sure other people moved, but you guys are all still close.
That'll never change.
Yeah.
You know, we're still close. We're still, even like people, my buddy Alex, we were 5 years old. We grew up together. We still talk to each other once a week, once every other week. We always find a way to reach out to say, hey, what's up? You know, how's life? How's everybody? How's this one? How's that one? You have to do that. You
Yeah.
have to keep people close.
And some people like they haven't heard from a friend in a while. They kind of forget about them. Like we're not those types of
No.
people. If you haven't heard from someone, you're like, what's going on?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah,
what's
you gotta go,
happening?
Is everything all right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did I do something? Right away, you know, did I do
Did I do something? What's going on?
Yeah.
But I have some questions to ask you.
Oh, boy.
Okay. Don't be nervous.
That's okay.
Listen, you told me on a text message I'm not much of a talker. Come on,
I
we've been
don't shut
doing
up
good.
once I start.
Same.
I know.
Same. We're the worst.
Italians,
Oh.
chiacchierons.
Wait,
That's
when
it.
we were setting up for my sister-in-law's party, we we were putting boom boxes, hanging them up. Like,
made them fly.
We made
We
them
made
fly.
boom boxes
but
fly.
guess what? As soon as I walked in, they
died.
They died. But
Yeah, well.
we talked for like 2 hours.
Yeah, but you can talk for 2 hours and 5 minutes just because of us.
Yes.
This is relationships forever. We talk
Yeah.
about this one, that one.
It's just the way it goes.
great.
I mean, before we started this, we talked for 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't give you no answers.
You didn't give me no
I didn't
answers.
give no answers. I'm
No, but
scared.
that's
You
fine.
sure?
No answers. Okay. So the first question. If there was one celebrity who you can host a party for, who would that be?
Oh, my God.
Just one.
Who would I love? I mean, I always imitated comedians growing up. Like I had this
I could
thing-
definitely see
I
that.
had this thing with Eddie Murphy when I was a kid and Richard Pryor. So I guess it would be Eddie Murphy or somebody like that.
Like a funny guy.
Funny guy that would come and I would make him laugh instead of him make me laugh.
Yeah.
Doing the things he did back then. So it would probably be like an Eddie Murphy.
I
type
love
of thing.
that. That's cool.
That's weird, but that was what I did growing up. Like my friends, we'd go out, like we'd be hanging out in somebody's basement and drinking, and I'd be doing skits from Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor and making like their skit from a comedian show, like Richard Pryor live in concert, and then Eddie Murphy Delirious. I knew them inside and out.
I think that you should open up a comedy
Easy.
place with some food.
I had the hair flipped in and the earring. I would have made it flipped in.
I think that I made a good, thing for you.
Could be.
Okay, marinate that in the brain.
Marination.
The next one. What is your favorite Philly event, like a festival or something that we do here besides Mummers Parade? We
Okay, I
can't
was
say
gonna
that.
say the Mummers
yes,
Parade, but
because
okay.
we know that that's our number one. But if you think of just being from Philly, it doesn't have to be outsiders. What
It
one
would
do
have
we
to
like?
be the St. Nick's Festival.
Yeah, I agree.
St. Nick's Festival. I mean, how do I say this? I loved it for a gazillion years, and I still love it. I just don't get to go as much anymore because it's usually a day that we're busy.
Yes, or like the Columbus Day Parade sometimes. Well, it's not called the Columbus Day Parade anymore, but
Indigenous.
it's called the Italian American Parade. See, my two would be the St. Nick's Festival or the Italian American Columbus Day Parade. I'm just going to say that.
When I was a kid, I think the favorite festival would have to be the 9th Street Festival, the Italian Market
Yes.
Festival, which, because I worked there. My father
You worked there?
My father worked on 9th Street.
Okay.
So every Saturday I would have to go and work on the fruit stand, or, you know what I mean? Tommy Giordano on 9th and 9th.
Yeah,
and,
right on
no,
9th and
9th
Wash. Yeah.
I'd go, and Tommy treated me like a son. Come on, go get me tomatoes.
Was that one of your first jobs?
Yeah, when I was a kid. Yeah, I was 9, 10, making, sold shopping bags on the weekends at times to make money. I was a hustler.
Yeah.
I worked from when I was young. But my father worked there. He was a huckster. That's what he did.
9th Street's very different. So the other day, my grandmom still lives on 7th and Federal. I took my son to Capitola Park, which I don't know if it's called that anymore, but I was walking down the street and I was like, it's not the same. But once you pass like Washington Ave, like right when you see Giordano's, I feel like you get that little feeling again that it feels like still a piece of like what we're used to. Yes.
What it was.
I think that between like Gino's Steaks to Wash does not feel the same anymore. It's gone. The amount of taco places I counted was 9.
On the corner where Giordano's was, that corner store was B&R Fashions.
Okay.
And up the street a little bit was S&R Fashions. Me and all the guys at 12th Street that we hung with, we worked in there. Like in my early teens, we worked there. We sold jeans, Jordache, Sergio Valente. Like we worked in them stores to make a couple extra dollars back when we were kids.
Yeah.
Them stores don't exist.
Now, so my parents, they used to have a store on Passyunk Ave called Romeo and Juliet's, and then they ended up moving like for a year down on Passyunk, and I just remember it being like very different. I think I was like 6 or 7 at the time. But yeah, like when I passed Washington Ave, I was like, wow, like this feels okay again. Like, you have Claudio's there, you have Toludo's, you have, what do we have? The Bruno Brothers. You have them all.
Yeah.
And
The Cannolis.
Yes.
The icons are still there.
Yeah, which I love that. Esposito's, like you still have these places. Yeah, the Villa de Roma, right? Yeah, they're still there. And you have Ralph's. Yeah, it is what it is. But no, that festival was really cool. I sung at it a few times. I believe Ralphie he used to do something over there. Yeah, and it was right on 9th and Carpenter, I believe. Is that where we would do it at?
12 steps down.
Yes, right there.
Yep.
And I believe Johnny Luch was a DJ.
Okay.
And it was Ralphie Head was doing his thing, and then I would do something, and you knew everyone there.
Yep.
And then the pole, people climbing up the pole. Guess what? That is happening. Probably when this episode airs, I think that I'm going to go and I'm going to do something at the festival.
Really?
Yeah.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, because I just like going around talking to people. Maybe I'll find people that were not born here. Maybe I'll find people that are from here.
Tommy Rosamondo does. I don't know if you know Tommy. Tommy's a friend of mine. He does a handball tournament.
Yes, the Johnny Marzano.
Tommy Rosamondo runs that.
Okay.
That thing is pretty cool.
I love that. I love that they do that because they're honoring someone who...
A South Philly guy.
Who made it.
Yeah, he did.
He made it.
Yeah.
That is really incredible.
They half a block from me.
Yeah.
Columbus boy.
Isn't that so crazy? Like you watch this person, like, you grew up with them and then they made it to like Major League Baseball.
He was always made to play.
Yeah.
His father made him. Father was great. I mean, half a block from me. They lived, I lived 11th and Federal. They lived half a block before he got to Wharton. They lived on 11th Street. So I seen Johnny every day.
Wow.
That was pretty cool.
Yeah. My last and final question.
Oh, boy.
This one might be a little controversial.
Oh, boy.
All right. You probably know what I'm going to ask you. The Vikings or the Shooting Stars? You don't have to answer. You don't have to answer that question.
I can answer it.
Do it.
I can answer it.
Okay. I'm nervous for this answer.
Don't be nervous.
Okay.
Both clubs. The Vikings are my life.
Yes.
My family. The Stars are my son's family. So I learned how to appreciate both clubs because of my children. So I can go either way as far as where I'd root for. New Year's Day comes. If one of them win, I'm happy. Mm-hmm. But I'm devastated for the one that loses.
Because
So,
it's your
when we found
children.
out this year that, and we were right at the bar there, that the Vikings won, I kept telling my wife, please let the Stars finish third. I didn't want them to finish second
Why is that?
because I knew how bad it would hurt my son.
Oh,
He put so much into it.
he sure did.
My daughter and my son put it all on the line. They're both phenomenal mummers. So that thing of picking, it's never a choice.
Yeah.
And one of your kids aren't going to be happy. Somebody's not going to be happy that day. I just hope that the one that is doesn't embarrass the one that doesn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Just
it reminds me of like the
feed off each
DeMarcos. You know the DeMarcos
Sure,
really
they're
well.
my cousins, my wife's family.
Yes, and you know Jonathan, he's in my club, and his sister is in the Downtowners. And I remember his mom actually saying that to me, like she would have the Downtowners in her window and the slipper in her window.
up until this year, Gino and Marissa were going out. She was a Spartan.
Yes.
Stars, Vikings, Spartans in the window.
Wait, that's so nice.
Okay? My wife has a shirt, half Stars, half Vikings, because Marissa now's a Viking.
Yes.
Back. She was always a Viking.
Yes,
then
I
she went to
remember.
Spartan.
I remember
But
her and her
now,
sister.
That shirt my wife wears all the time, and we have no prejudice over either one. We like everybody.
Yeah.
And it's hard because when I was only a Viking, the Stars aren't.
I remember we had a
was
song.
My son goes there. Everything's all bets are off.
Yeah.
Because my family comes before anything.
Yeah.
He's happy there. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
My daughter's happy here. That's all I care about. When they parade, I root for them both. I don't care either way it goes. If somebody's not going to be happy, you hope it's both. of them
You'd
not gonna be happy.
rather somebody
be happy.
Yeah.
So, and the Vikings find a way to do it every year. I mean,
Yeah.
They got that knack right now.
They sure do. But guess what? The Stars put on a really great show.
My
I
son-
really
I was
enjoyed
proud.
watching them.
My son was Man of the Year this year.
Yes, he was.
Shooting Stars, which
I mean, he was
could
in it
not
for
be
4
prouder.
years,
4
and
years.
he
Yep.
got an award that there's people who have been there for 7 years who have never received it. So I'm proud of him.
it feels in your heart. It feels so good for him because I know the way he feels about that club.
Yeah.
It means so much.
And you're like we talked about your wife, like she is, supportive of what you do, what your kids do,
Yep.
like how did you guys like even meet?
Me and Steph?
Yeah.
Oh man. Well, it didn't start out. We were best friends.
Okay.
So Stephanie and I were best friends. She was dating actually Johnny Boy, who is actually our cousin. He's not really a cousin. We called him cousin.
Yeah,
Johnny.
I mean,
His
South Philly
Martin Doodles is
cousins.
his cousin because it was an adios side.
Yeah.
So they were dating, and then me and Steph became best friends. And then, they had broken up for whatever, and friends turned into, I have been with Stephanie now 41 years.
Wow.
We were best friends. We started dating. I had just turned 16.
16.
I had just turned 16. I'm
She
57.
was your sweetheart.
My sweetheart. I mean, we went through all the growing pains of owning the bar and the businesses, and she never left my side. She always allowed me to try different things in different businesses. She always had my back, 1,000,000%. And through my whole life, there hasn't been one person that could ever touch what my wife has done for me or my family. She's a great mother. I mean,
She's an amazing person.
Phenomenal person.
Yeah, she sure
She's
is.
Always done, for anybody. She's always helps anybody.
She does.
She's my life.
And she's so caring. She cares about anyone that's
Yep.
like that she's met.
Yeah.
Like, and I feel that, like, if I see her, always a big hug. How's
Yeah.
your family? How's the baby? Like, she truly cares.
Yeah, my wife's one of a kind.
And I love that you guys were best friends. I always say a relationship is, being best friends in a relationship is key
If
to
you're
a
not
happy
best friends-
marriage.
You're not best friends. You're really nothing.
You're nothing. You're a roommate.
You're roommate. Exactly right. You better be best friends with the person you marry.
Yeah, it's the truth.
It makes everything easier.
It does. And like you need to have fun with that person. If you can't, like you're living a really bad life.
we were.
You guys can have fun together still
we
till this
still
day.
can have fun together. Yes, we can. And we do things to feed off each other. I mean, and it really is. It's It's I look back 41 years, owned a bar, restaurants, businesses, all through life, and she stood there.
She
And
never left your
never
side.
left my side, never once.
Never left your side.
Never once. And we're still best friends till today. Still my best friend.
I love this.
It's
It's so
unreal.
beautiful.
Yeah.
And you guys have so many memories together. And like, but tell me, what is, if you think like a South Philly memory or like something funny that's ever happened to you, like what comes to mind to you?
Can't tell the poop story.
Tell the poop story.
I sent poop to my cousin Mark and my friend Joe Pipo. I was working at Downey's part-time thing, and I was doing shipping and receiving, like in between jobs, and I did shipping and receiving, and yeah, me and my buddy Tommy pooped in a glass. We sent it. We didn't send it overnight. We sent it regular delivery, and back then it was 3 days. So
Oh my God.
imagine when they got it. And Downey's had these metal tin that it said Irish whiskey, brandy, and amaretto, and we packed it in the green tin, and we said, try our new chocolate cake. And it was right around Easter, and we sent it to both of them, and it was a pleasant surprise. They got the letters said, try our new chocolate cake, and Joe Pipo's mother was like, oh, how nice, they sent us a cake. And then they opened it up, and it was
Do you know you invented that? Because people now
Yeah.
send it.
It was pretty. I know. Matter of fact, thanks Shooting Stars.
Wait, why?
They sent one here for this year. And
Oh, really?
My little Mark, it was addressed to the Vikings, and I said, Mark, got a package here. And he goes, open it. And I opened it. It was a package.
Karma.
Monkey.
Karma.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Yeah,
That was karma.
Yeah, karma. No, that was. I didn't deserve that.
Especially just now speaking all good about the Shooting Stars.
I think it was the Stars. I think it was the Stars.
probably was.
I think they're the only ones that could get away with that because
That
they got a
is-
great relationship.
Yeah, no, that's really funny.
Yeah, great.
You invented, you could have made so much money off of that idea.
Yeah. I should have known.
You should have known. You should have patented that. Chicks would
Be making a fortune.
Yeah, they'll patent the hoagies, veggie hoagies,
The
and you'll
veggie,
patent. Yeah.
Oh, listen.
I love it.
That's great.
It's great. That's so funny. I had so much fun talking
was
to you.
great.
Like,
That was awesome.
I knew that this was going to be a great conversation. I guess what I learned really a lot of different things about you. I didn't know that you had a franchise at like 20-something years old. Didn't know that you had a coffee shop. Like, I learned really a lot. And I've known you for years. So you've really enlightened me.
Oh, well, it was great talking to you. I told you I'm afraid, and I don't like to talk in front of people. So
Well, you're talking
This
in
is-
front
this
of this is our crew.
This is our crew, so it made it easier.
Yeah.
It's always easy to talk to
Yeah,
you.
you
'cause
too.
I know you forever.
Yeah.
But
Well, leave us with a quote that you live by with your catering business.
if you rent the Taj Mahal and the food stinks, it's all people talk about. So make sure the food's good. Come to Steffi's Caterers.
Oh, that is a commercial.
Yes, that's my only commercial.
Right now.
Yes.
Phil's
yes.
gonna make something cool with that
Yes.
one.
He's got it on the card already.
Yes,
I
he
know
does. Yes, he does. But thank you so much for having me come and pick your brain. I appreciate it.
I appreciate it. Thank you. It was fun.
Yes, I had so much
I
fun
had a ball.
talking to you.
It was really cool.
Thank you so much for tuning in. Make sure you follow us on all social media platforms and subscribe to Apple, iHeart, Spotify, and YouTube. And remember, keep your eyes on the city and your ears on the buzz. Yeah. Love you. That's
Love you too.
great.
Thank you.